But is today's security good enough for tomorrow?
Clearly, no.
The aggregator is the blood flowing to our veins.
Perhaps the set-top box is dead, but to be replaced by streamers.
Legacy always lasts longer than you think it will.
Drive customer experiences and create new opportunities for carriers to engage with their customers.
Open and free does not mean easy.
The network is like a living organism.
If I give you $100 million, what would you do with it?
Hello, 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 and welcome back for the ones who had the pleasure of our previous session, and welcome also for those who just arrived to see next trends in TV with Viaccess-Orca and Carlos Ramos. Carlos, come join me on stage. Big applause for Carlos. So a few words about the session. It's part of the Connecting the Dots track. Connecting the dots is something I do in bringing operators, leading operators and leading vendors together. It's one of the things why we're here, to exchange information, share tips, insights, and learning of real innovators of industry, thought leaders, talking about stuff that defines the future. My name is Andy Waltenspiel, and I'm running this track. In my day job, I'm running a Munich, Germany-based consultancy where I work with tier one operators like Deutsche Telekom or Vodafone and great vendors like Viaccess-Orca and many, many others. So, next trends in TV, less set-top box, more OTT connected devices, more targeted ads, and it's great to have you here, Carlos. So maybe please introduce yourself first and Viaccess-Orca, and then we jump in.
Sure. Carlos Ramos here. I'm the VP of Business Development for Viaccess-Orca. I'm in charge of the Americas. I cover from Canada, the US, on all Latin America, including the Caribbean, the West Indies. Viaccess-Orca, it is a French company. We're based out of Paris. We have been manufacturing TV platforms and securities, DRM casts, anti-piracy systems for over 26 years. Now, and we have made a lot of progress. We are part of the Orange Group, so we are 100% owned by the Orange Group in France Telecom in the past, and in Americas we have a very good trend and tractions. We have today close to 24 customers already installed and deployed throughout Latin America, and now we're going to do something here in the States, hopefully.
So it's not just that you're the in-house security provider for the Orange Group, but obviously you do a lot more outside of Orange as well.
Yes, that's the main idea of the company. When Orange purchased Viaccess back in 2007, it was a subsidiary to sell outside Orange as well.
Okay, so you have the experience of one of the biggest telcos in Europe, supplying stuff to them that you take and make other customers around the globe happy.
That is correct.
As well.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk, there's less set-top boxes is one of the topics, and I want to do a little audience poll. Let me get back here as well. So, who of you has a set-top box at home? Okay. Who thinks the set-top box will be dead in the next 2 years? Okay. Who thinks it will be living at least for the next 10 years? Okay. Who thinks it will always stay? Okay, so we give it 10 years.
You see?
So we just, as you saw in the video, legacy always lives longer than you think. Okay, so the set-top box. Let's talk about set-top box. There's some customers that want to get rid of it. Everybody hates the CapEx, but it's still there. Why? What are the trends you see? Are there some who really move away and are happy with the experience?
Going back to the Orange experience in Spain, I just came back from Spain last week. We were in IBC, and we just launched a full business plan based on connected devices. We launched back in November last year, and so far it is the major traction in Spain for new subscribers. So people in 2 months, we gained 70,000 new subscribers just on that particular business plan, not set-top boxes.
And when you say connected devices, what devices are those?
We launch on every single smart TV, Apple TVs, Fire TVs, mobiles and web, tablets, web browsers, basically basically every single connected devices, including the major screen set like smart TVs.
Okay, so that's happening in Spain.
Yeah.
What do you see happening in Latin America?
And then one of our customers in Chile, basically what we have done, or what I have done so far, we have implementing a lot of TV platform over FTTH operators. Right? There's no coax, there's no HFC. It is a full-blown FTTH. So we're using the fiber, and then over the fiber, when we build the multicast for IPTV, but then on top we do the OTT, for the unicast. Now in Chile, even though they have some Linux set-top boxes, now because of the expenses on the set-top boxes, they just decided to kill the set-top boxes, literally.
Yeah.
And now we are launching a full-blown OTT on connected devices only. And that will be the trend. And we're going to be moving close to 500,000 households out of the set-top boxes into this particular technology, connected devices.
Do you see a correlation between the size of these operators and their appetite to move away? Because what I hear when I talk to Deutsche Telekom, Vodafone, Liberty Global, they all say, I hate the CapEx, but I love the control.
Yeah.
So this device makes sure that I am the first thing the customer sees on HDMI 1, and I am making sure with a super aggregator strategy that he stays with me during this whole experience. Is that different for tier 2, tier 3 operators?
Going back to control and controlling your end subscribers, the tier ones, they also want to have that control. But for them, it's easier to compete on those particular stores.
Yeah.
Right? So you're competing with Hulu, with Netflix. You don't have to compete, you need to complement. You need to be complemented by these kind of apps. And that's why we had the super aggregation. Right? So from the same environment, then you can access all that content using the same global search that we provide throughout our technology. Tier 2s, again, because of the expense of the set-top boxes, it's easier for them to adopt this kind of all connected devices, no set-top boxes. On the tier 1, you feel that reluctancy to move away, but they're adopting it right now. Like in Mexico, we're going to be now deploying a full connected devices on top of the set-top boxes.
Okay. So it's becoming a bring your own device strategy. What's the share of, let's say, open devices, means not controlled, I buy it in retail, I buy a TV, I buy a Fire TV OS.
Right.
What's the share today? Are we at 10%, 20%? And where do you think it's going to be in 5 years from now?
Yeah. Today, I believe on the tier 1s is 90-10, still 90 on set-top boxes, 10 on connected devices. Again, Chile, you're going to be 100% connected devices from one day to the other. That will be a good experience to see what's happening in Chile.
Yeah, you need to talk to Edwin, who's leaving the room, who just left his bag.
And then my take is that it will move slowly but surely to 50-50. And then if the tier 1s start losing that sense of fear that they're going to be losing control, then it will be adopted faster.
And maybe they will be surpassed by the small ones.
Right, yeah, for sure. They're going to feel the competition from the small ones anyhow.
Okay, so how do you get the point? It's I save all the capex, I save all the hassle.
Yeah.
In the previous panel, we just talked about making sure the devices all work, there's interoperability, I manage, I control. So how does that work with an open device approach? And how do I manage the loyalty of the customer? Because now he has an Apple device. How does it work?
Yeah. Control, we have control. I mean, that's a good thing. The technology that we provide will still give the operator that sense of control. We will know exactly their habits, their profile. We can use that to recommend or to do something else and help monetizing in a different ways because we know exactly that habit. Control is there. We know for how long people are watching TV. We know what is watching. So we have all that. So that is the thing that the operators need to start feeling that they're going to lose the control, right? In terms of loyalty, yes, you need to compete with Hulu and Netflix and Paramount Plus and Disney Plus. But again, if we do it the right way, then through the global search, you don't have to go there. You just have to go to your operator environment and then access the content from that particular window, from the particular app.
Okay. And what are the most favorite devices people use instead? Or maybe there are some that you recommend. I know when I take an Apple TV, there is no numbers. So how do I go on a channel? What is the devices that work best?
Yeah. Basically, all smart TVs are the first on the list when we do this. Typically Samsung, LGs, Sony's, Vizio, Philips, all the large screens, right? We have this technology already deployed. Secondly, we have Apple TVs, Roku. We are doing Roku right now for Chile as well. And Fire TVs. The way how you build that app, it is built in a way that you don't need the numbers to change channels.
Yep.
So basically, we simplify the APG, we simplify the carousels. So basically, with arrows, you just go and change channels. So it's fairly quickly.
Yeah. By the way, when you say we, means you offer a TV platform to the operators.
Yes. We offer the full technology, including the TV platform, the recommendation, the search, global search, DRM, multi-DRM, players, apps, the full end-to-end solution we can offer to operators, either small operators or very large operators. So that's a good thing. We can do it on the cloud, or we can do it on-prem, depending on what the customers at the end they want to have.
Okay, great. So we talked about saving CapEx, keeping control. Great. What about increasing ARPU? Monetization.
Yeah.
What new opportunities? We're talking about trends. We talked about the connected device. So how do I increase my revenue? What kind of monetization opportunities are out there?
Yeah, that is going back to control and to know your customers, right? So we know the customer. We know exactly the trends. We know that you go home Monday to Friday and you get home 8 and the first thing that you put on the TV is the news, right? We know what kind of news you like, right? Could be sports news, could be action news, could be whatever. So we know that. So now what we can do though, we can add revenue using targeted advertising, as an example, right?
Yep.
Because now we know that you like tennis and I like football. Then, so on the commercial spot, we can send you a tennis commercial and I will get a football commercial. So that will multiply by X amount of times the amount of revenue that you can get on the CPM side from the advertising, right? So that's one way that we have to help monetizing that apps now and the lack of set-top boxes.
Do you see that already taking off? I know in Europe, Sky is one of the biggest ones, Liberty Global as well.
Yeah.
Others still have to do that jump. What's the situation in Latin America?
Mexico, we deploy already. Has been, even though we cannot, because of the content rights, they don't have the ability to insert and do the live ad replacement. So what we did, though, we create a banner. So we can do banners, like a layover banners on the UI. Okay. And then we send the advertising through the banners. We can also use the EPG for advertising. So we know that in a particular channel, a particular program will be broadcasted, then we can insert inside the EPG that particular commercial, that particular advertising, right? And again, it's OTT, so you can do click to action. So you click to action, then you are taken to a new channel, a different carousel, or even a website.
So how do we do click to action on a Samsung TV?
You don't do, but you can go with the EPG, and then there is a special section, and then with the remote, you press the OK button.
So just use the cursor buttons of the remote.
And then you're taken to a particular carousel where you can see that particular commercial, right? And then you can do the pre-rolls as well, right? And the pre-roll will be a commercial which is targeted, so you will receive the commercial that you like to watch. that you like to see.
Okay, so you see ad replacement, you see pre-roll, post-roll, mid-roll,
Yeah.
whatever. You see
Banners.
banners on the UI that you can interact with.
Yeah.
Okay, what are so that's the technical side of things.
Yeah.
What are the commercial success factors for that to work? Because some of the telcos I speak to, they say, okay, we know we have a lot of inventory to sell,
Yeah.
but we don't have any clue how to sell it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how does it work?
We use this, or in some customers that we have deployed, we are using the freemium to premium. So you can offer, like in Spain, we're offering a very low price initial business model, and then it will be ad supported, and then you can go to premium without the ad, right? So that's one way. Now, how you sell the inventory? It is through, because now you're going to have to sell the inventory X amount of times, right? Because now it's targeted. So it will go back to the ad sales that you're using, the ad sales people, personnel that you can have on a particular customer, in a particular country, that it will be tied to that particular commercial. So again, it's going back to sales and how you're going to be selling that inventory. It is tough, though. In Mexico, so far, and it sounds a lot, we're selling 60% of the inventory. And that 40% is very tough to fill. But we're adding more ad sales or more ad servers to the technology. So we're going to have different groups selling different targeted.
And is that advertising? Is it something that you run? Is it something the operator runs? Is it like a managed service?
Yeah.
Or how do I need to think about it?
No, we have all options. We have our own ad sales group in different countries. We can do it as a managed service, or we can leave also the operators to direct sell or to do rev share with us. So it's depending on whatever option the operator, the end customer would like to achieve.
Okay, so if I'm a customer, I pay X dollars, pesos, euros, whatever.
Yeah.
Suddenly I see ads, a lot of ads.
Yeah.
I might not like it. So is one of the success factors, okay, now if you into these ads,
Yeah.
do you need to have a second tier of your subscriptions that you offer, or
We
what are the
have
experiences?
in Spain and in Mexico, we have a freemium pack plan and exactly the same, which is premium. So we double the amount of subscription, right? One, it will be a fully ad supported, another one will be an end customer pay TV subscription, right? So yeah, we're doubling, but because of the technology that we use, in reality, you're not doubling the capacity on the system. You're just pointing to different systems, right? And then through the apps, you can change your subscription model anytime.
Yep.
So let's say I'm tired of the ads. I now want to decide to pay 30 euros. Then I just go through my app, I pay my subscription, and now the ads are gone. Very similar to Spotify or Apple Music or Pandora, right?
Do you have some learnings or maybe also pain points when operators launch this? What are the painful things they had to learn, some key takeaways on how to do it or how not to do it?
Yeah. The pain always has been dealing with the stores, Google and Apple Store, Google Play and Apple Store. Basically, you're relying on them. There is also this royalty with Google and Apple that you have to pay 30%, 20%, depending on whatever amount you have to negotiate with them. So that's a fear. Competing with the other apps. And that's what I'm saying. This super aggregation is key. If you don't have that, then for sure, it's not going to be as successful as you can have the super aggregation built into the software.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about fast channels? It's one of the buzzwords we hear at every trade show and every conference. Is it just a hype or a reality?
I see it coming.
Where?
Yeah, I see it coming. I'm working right now in 4 or 5 new opportunities where we already have deployed our technology in that particular customer, and now we're deploying a second system just for fast. So it's coming. Mexico is coming. Chile is coming. Argentina is coming. Brazil, we already did it. Peru is coming. So all Latin is moving also to that trend, though they're not using the same system, right? So they're keeping a second system just to do that, the fast channel. So for some reason, they don't want to mix their pay TV subscribers on this particular platform with the fast channels on a different platform.
So they do it with a different brand?
Different brand is free, it's fast. There is no need for a real head end, so it's saving on the head end. They don't need transcoders, they don't need origin, they don't need, the fast providing the whole streaming format, so it's easy, fast.
Yep.
And that's probably why they don't want to use the same platform, right? They want to have their head end, good system here, and then the fast here. And to me, it will be an experience right now, but it's coming on those countries, all those countries.
Yeah. I mean, often it's the case as an operator launches as a second brand for a differently priced and positioned tier. Is that something you see that they're using? I mean, if I look at MásMóvil in Spain, they have like 20 different brands for different things.
Yeah.
KPN does the same, and Proximus in Europe does the same, right?
Yeah.
Is that key to the success of it, or maybe not so much?
Don't really know, Andy. My take is that right now they're testing the waters, right? Yastel in Spain, which is the cheapy brand in Orange Spain.
Yep.
We're launching a fast system also under the Yastel branding, right? It's a different system. So that is my take. Everyone is tasting the water right now. They're kind of see what's happening, kind of flowing with the wind. Mexico, we're launching a big system with some premium channels and a lot of fast channels from a broadcaster. Right? Again, it's an experiment, so let's see what happens. So,
I mean, there's everything in between fully paid and fully free, and we will see a lot of stuff.
Correct.
One of the things you mentioned is super aggregation,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it's aggregate video, anything that's content, music, games, esports, combine it with your Wi-Fi, access, triple, quadruple pay.
Yeah.
I get it, that works for the big guys, right? And Comcast, Charter, Shaw, all of this will do it. How does it work if I'm a tier 2 or tier 3 operator?
It works exactly the same, but the problem is getting the traction with the programmers.
Yeah.
Right?
Technically, of course, it's the same.
The same, right? But it is getting the attention from Netflix or getting the attention from Disney Plus, right? It is tough.
Yeah.
They feel that fear, I guess, that they don't want to lose their Claros or the American Mobiles, right, or the Comcast, because now they need to help a tier 2 mom and pop company in, I don't know, North Dakota, right?
Yeah.
So that you can feel that fear from that particular group.
I think if you take the NCTC and the cooperatives like that, they are trying to solve the problem. Okay, I group many smaller ones together to be a big fish in the end.
So what we are doing, we develop a full cloud, full end-to-end solution. We're adding content right now also. And then instead of us selling a platform now, we're just going to be selling the service. The service as a household. Right? So now you have an operation in Germany, right? And then in the place where you live, 100 houses, 200 houses. Now you can become an operator because now you buy the service from us and sell it by pay as you grow, and then you sell it to your 200 houses where you live, right? You're going to be branded under your name. You're going to have the super aggregation built in. You're going to have the targeted advertising built in. So basically, you don't have to sell it. That's it. You don't have to worry about any head ends, any satellite contribution, any aggregation. Everything's done for us.
Of course, this is streaming TV.
It is streaming
IP
TV,
delivery. It's not broadcast.
Yes, it's streaming TV.
Okay.
And that's going back to no set-top boxes.
No capex, no heavy lifting.
Right.
You don't need a crew.
Right.
I mean, it might be there's okay. Yes, I have these people. Does it mean I have to lay them off, or repurpose?
You can repurpose it. Yeah, you can repurpose it. Right. You're gonna have more calls because people will get confused with the apps. So the call center can go up for a little bit. You need to explain how to log in, right? Because on the set-top boxes, granted, you just turn the TV. Done. You don't have to log in.
Yeah.
On the app, you need to log in, at least the first time. So you need to explain that to the end users now.
Yeah. So the end users need to learn. What about the operators? I mean, moving from broadcast, moving stuff to the cloud, using streaming, it's a technology challenge, maybe not that big. What about mindset change in the operations? Because taking the 30-year broadcast engineer saying now from tomorrow on you do TV, streaming, might be tough. So.
Yeah. But again, I think it goes beyond that. You have a TV technology or TV business plan or business model that today you're competing with the OTTs. So Conca, Charter, Cox, Mega, Chile, Orange, right? And you can feel it from them when you talk to operators. They say, my TV business is going down, and now, because everyone is using streaming, even though I have a set-top box in my house, they're not using the set-top box, they're going back to Netflix, right? So I think little by little, they're gonna start losing that control freak fear. They will adopt that full-blown because they're already there. There is no way out.
Yeah.
It's there. So even though we can say you don't like it, you have to live with that. It is there. So that is, and that will take time. That will take time from the operators.
Yeah. So super aggregation, I always say, so there is one great super aggregator out there, and these are the pirates.
Yeah.
Because they have all the content you want in shockingly great UI at a very attractive price. Unfortunately, it's illegal. Now, let's talk about security for a moment. That's where you come from, or Viaccess-Orca originally.
Yeah.
I see the pendulum still swinging in the wrong direction. Fragmentation is not decreasing, it's increasing. Everybody's going D2C. It becomes painful to find the content I watch because, oh, friends, last year it was on this platform, now it's there. No, not anymore. So it's really, really bad. I mean, what's happening on the security front?
Yeah.
Is the pain big enough or not yet?
I'm talking about LATAM because they're more relaxed side of the border on the piracy, but it is now they start to get scared. We are now inserting watermarking on the broadcaster. We also detecting the CPE that is breaching that flow through our piracy control systems. Specifically now with the World Cup coming in November, all the programmers are requiring watermark technology into their streams or into the flows right now. So it's getting a lot of traction on that matter. Password sharing is also a biggie. So we're doing implementing some algorithm to prevent somehow that password sharing on the end users. And then we establish a full anti-piracy center in Paris where we can monitor the whole streaming from our customers, our operators, to help them fight the piracy. It is a big concern right now.
And it goes, of course, beyond encrypting a broadcast
Yeah,
stream. It's because that's the easy part.
The encryption is encryption, right? On the streaming, you are relying on Google, Widevine, or Apple FairPlay. It is the DRM. It will be encrypted. And Google Widevine can be hacked any day. It's not the most secure DRM out there, but everyone is happy with that. Right? The Disney, they don't complain. Amazon, they don't complain. Warner doesn't complain.
And
so
the operators do what the content owner want,
Correct.
And not a single thing more.
That is correct.
Yeah.
So, but then if you can add these extra layers, the watermarking, the piracy control, the breach detection, then that will give that piece into the operators again, that at least they can take a remedy. And that's going back to control. So even though some operators believe that, well, I can kill the set-top box I detect a breach from a particular set-top box now, you can do the same with a connected device. So you don't lose control.
Yep.
And that's key on moving away from the set-top boxes.
Okay, so you saw the opening video. You know my favorite question. I give you $100 million.
Yeah.
What do you do with it?
With a set-top, with $100 million?
For Viaccess-Orca, not for your personal spending.
I know. We put a lot of money on R&D. We would put a big percentage on R&D back into that.
But R&D on the platform, on security, on advertising, on AI?
Right
cloud?
now, it is very hard to separate it. So to me, it's just one system. It's just one big ecosystem. If we can have R&D in a full eco solution that it comprehends from A to Z, that's where I will put, and I will invest that money into that.
Will it be enough?
No, it's never enough.
Good. So we have a few minutes left for audience questions. We have a standing microphone here. So if you have any question, then please come up, say your name and your company. Don't be shy. We don't bite. Anyone, a question? Yes, please.
¿Qué tal, Carlos?
Hola.
Juan Angeli de Millicom. More of our reluctancy to move away from set-top box is this idea that we will also lose future revenue streams from revenue share that we have with the OTTs, revenue share that we have with fast channels, revenue share that we have from other partners that are now looking for the eyeballs and the people that are already in our own experience. Have you seen that reluctancy from somebody else? Is this I don't know, something that we got to get used to, that we're going to lose that anyway? How do you see that?
Yeah, the reluctance is there. You guys are not the only one, as I said. Everyone having that fear, right? That what is going to happen? How many users do I going to lose there? How I will maintain my customer base now that I have to compete with every single else, right? I don't see that happening in real time, on the real life. Like I said, in Chile, we are killing the set-top boxes in a month from now. There won't be no set-top boxes on 500,000 households. In Spain, we gained 70,000 new households in 90 days. No set-top boxes. So, but there is a reluctance, it exists, but I don't see it happening in real life.
Does it answer your question? Please use the microphone, otherwise the others won't hear you.
Today, just because of our position on how difficult it is to get a payment method in Latin America, we have become that channel, right? That channel, that payment method. We feel that part of it, that channel, includes being that access to also watch, being that exclusive or only access to. So we know it's out there. We know in the rest of the world it kind of got away from operators, right? But still in Latin America, that lack of a payment gateway, that lack of penetration from other providers. I mean, there's a lot of Apple TVs, and Roku is 2%. Still gives us the opportunity to those revenue streams. I mean, X% of revenue share from Disney, HBO, so that are paying us for that access. And our key concern is that. Key concern is if we allow or lose this grip on the control, are we putting that in jeopardy or not? Are we putting that control? That's our key. It's not only because we all want the capex, right? We all want the capex.
Yeah.
Control is, let's say, it's not something that is in our DNA. So control is not actually the biggest
Concern. Yeah.
Is the revenue streams that are in play.
Yeah.
Those are the issues. And my question, I guess, is in Chile, in Spain, did they forgo those revenue streams? Were they never part of those industries? Those are the...
No, they are. And again, with the super aggregation that we have, you still will get those rev share from
advertising.
And from all these OTTs, right? Like Netflix. I mean, when with super aggregation, the business behind that you can get revenue from Disney Plus, because there is a deal between Viaccess, Orange, and Disney Plus, right? So we can integrate Disney Plus inside our environment, and then the operator, Orange, you guys, right, can get that particular extra cent that from Disney, right? So you get a little bit of more money with you use the super aggregation that we have deployed.
So what you say is you can do super aggregation without a set-top box because you have a TV platform. It's just not running on the box, it's running on a TV, it's running on a Roku, but you still have control just outside of the device that you bought.
Right.
But indeed, what I also hear when I talk to the European telcos, the payment aggregation there is not such a big problem. But when I talk to like Edwin from Liberty Latin America and some others, they say, this is a key part of my super aggregation. I am a payment aggregator, and that makes the customer really sticky. So I hear your pain.
But we also have, like in Uruguay, we have a customer that we just deployed, and basically we are adding 10 different payment models, or payment gateways from that particular one. And in Brazil, we have implemented, scratching. So you go to the store and you scratch and get the PIN, and then you put it into the app. So that is easily done, at least with the technology.
Yeah. No, we have that. Yeah. Right. We have all those scratching with the prepaid business.
Right. The prepaid. There you go.
Okay. I guess one more question, if I have the mic. I didn't get the full answer. I think you already asked it. One of the other barriers that we see from becoming a super aggregator outside of the set-top box is getting all that metadata from what you're actually from the people you're competing with, right? We are not a global player, just an operator in some markets in Latin America. So, we don't get the conversation of sharing my metadata to getting that. So, is that something that Orca will be able to broker for tier 2 players?
Yeah, we provide all the metadata. Even Netflix just changed, because we used to get the catalog from Netflix on the metadata. Now they changed to 2 APIs. So now we're changing that also, because Netflix can change every month if they want to do that. But we have all the catalog, all the metadata, all the information, we have it. So we just use it for you guys, or any of our customers. You don't have to do anything.
And the metadata, so I just did a recent study where I asked the operators, okay, you all become super aggregators. Great. How do you differentiate now? And one of the key questions, at least today, is that universal search. And it's not a technical problem, it's a content right problem. Because you might not get...
It's a relationship problem,
You might not get the access to the metadata, and then it becomes difficult to do cross-search and the search and recommendation, discovery, all that. So that's key. So taking a platform like you have, where you take that bundling, works for tier 2 and tier 3 operators.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Muchas gracias. You had a question here as well in the front, and I think you as well. Okay. Those two, and then I think we need to wrap it up.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Peter Klein from Comcast. My question is sort of answered a little bit about what you just discussed, but it was around some of the impediments to the super aggregation. And with Comcast on our platform, obviously, we were able to have lots of OTT apps to integrate with all these providers, and then we have sort of that federated search like you're talking about. And so I can see where that can certainly be an impediment for some of the smaller operators. But in terms of things like, one thing that I guess is a pain as a consumer is that for each of these apps that you're now integrating with in our ecosystem, each of them has their own payment schedules. You have your own credentials for each of these providers. Is there anything that a super aggregator can do to sort of limit some of that pain or make it easier to manage all of those aspects?
Yeah. Well, what we have done.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you, Peter. What we have done is that we authenticate once, and then we log those subscribers into every single OTT that they are even subscribed directly or through you guys, right? So you can pay Comcast for Netflix, in this case Chile or Mexico, right? And then you guys, Comcast, you pay Netflix on whatever subscription. So we have the two models, right? And so when you can go back and forth from the X1, right, and then search on Ozark, and then you will be getting to Ozark Netflix. You're gonna go to Netflix. You don't have to put your credentials. You see Ozark in Netflix, and then you go back to X1 in your case. Okay.
Yeah, in the end, you do and some operators do the carrier billing.
Yeah.
Means I don't even sign up with Netflix directly. I sign up through Sky Germany.
Right,
So
right.
I'm a Sky Germany customer, so I can have Netflix as part of my subscription. I just pay more to Sky, but I don't have.
Yeah.
I still have to log in,
Yeah.
but I don't need to pay Netflix directly. Thank you.
So you already touched on my universal search question. I'm with Red Bee Media. My name is Jeb Trowbridge, and that's what we do, and that's what we think about as far as how to connect data sets from linear to VOD to OTT. So the universal search question will continue to be asked. But the question I have as a parent of teenage girls, TV to them is TikTok.
Yeah.
So your thoughts on that?
Yeah. We haven't done anything with TikTok. We have integrated YouTube, right? And right now we're working with Google to get some APIs for the metadata with YouTube through APIs, right? Because it's impossible to get the catalog on YouTube. Though we have integrated already YouTube, but we haven't done anything with TikTok. We can restrict through our platform who will have access to that, right? So we have parental control into the system. We have content right management into the system. So let's say that you want to prevent my daughter to watch TikTok, at least through my system. We can do that through with our platform.
So, but some of the big operators in Europe are looking at that. So they're integrating Twitch, they're integrating TikTok. Some even think about Instagram.
Yeah.
YouTube is for sure the most watched video service in many geographies, the US, Brazil, Germany, UK. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say what I find interesting is that this concept of TV, we're thinking in terms of the living room and the large screen.
Yeah.
But so much consumption today with the younger generations is on a device,
For
right?
sure.
And so this is TV to them.
Yeah.
And
This is your set-top box now.
They want to swipe, right? And so
Right.
you can't swipe a big TV screen. And so
Yeah.
I think it's a larger question for
Yeah.
I think
the
it's
ecosystem.
it's an experimentation these
Yes.
days, and even for
Yes.
Twitch, okay,
Yeah.
are you ready to integrate with Vodafone or not? But okay. I think we need to wrap it up. Unfortunately, we could, it seems, continue for quite a while, and maybe we do that after we close. Thank you, dear audience, for being with us. It was great to have you, and a big applause to Carlos.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Andy.
Thank you for coming. More connecting the dots in the coming 2 days. We start tomorrow with blockchain and NFT beyond the buzzwords. 8 a.m. I know it is early, but it's worth to come. It's stuff to address your audience, the younger audience that many of us struggle to address. So there should be some learning in there, and more to come. Just look in the app of SCTE. Thanks for coming. Have a great evening. See you soon. Bye.
Thank you, guys.